Hello guys, my name is Cosy Gaming. Welcome back to another review of, this time, the The Going Mary pirate ship. In fact, let me just sail that across the seven seas so we can take a look at the box. Okay, so it's, of course, Lego Netflix's One Piece, of course, a Netflix series, because it's based upon the live action. Of course, this set is only for people who are 10 and older. Set number 75639, The Going Mary Pirate Ship. There are 1,376 pieces, and it comes, if I can, there we go. Comes with Monkey D. Luffy, Noro Zoro, or just Zoro, Nami, Usopp, and Sanji. Okay, so if I take, of course, that's just basic thing. Okay, on the back it tells you about that. There, more interesting just cover art. If I take that, there. 4 random wanted posters included. The very clever thing with this box is it opens up like that. Okay, I'm just going to pop that there. So now I'm going to get ready for the minifigures. Hey. Oh, wait. Minifigures. Let's put the first one, the captain of the crew. There we go. Monkey D. Luffy. He wants to be king of the pirates, and this is what his... To be honest, I might put an image right there of what he looks like in the actual anime thing, and of course he does have an alternative torso. There. That's what he looks like with this one. Wait, where's Zoro? I can see his 3 swords. Let me just sort that out. Okay, he was busy with a Ferrari. He was busy with a Ferrari for some reason. Okay, this is what he looks like. Yep. Of course, he does have an alternative. If you get he does have his that, and that's what it looks like with that. And of course, he also has thing. Of course, this is what he looks like with that. He looks like he's angry at Sanji for something. And of course, if you put him with his thing, what's this thing? So, yeah. This head print, or face print, is actually so you can grab a sword piece and then recreate his iconic If I just go. So he recreates his. Will it focus? No, that's not focusing. So basically, you can recreate his free sword technique. Now, the Navigator, Nami. Okay, so Nami is, of course, they're all looking really like they're sort of East Blue in the anime. Of course, she has a staff. I have her with a gem, because watch the show and find out. Ooh. So I'm not that. She has an annoyed face, probably at Luffy or Sanji. Then we have the ship's sniper, Usopp. Of course, this one, because it's based on the live action, it's not got the long nose, but in the anime he does have a long nose. There. Really like the arm printing there. If I take off things, so show you his scared face. Okay. Of course, if I do take off his man bag, or satchel. This is not wanting to work. There we go. And of course, there's things that we can take. Okay, let's just put on his. Okay. Look at that printing. Yep. There. That looks brilliant. And finally, the chef of the chef of Straw Hats, Sanji, with a lemon slice. That's not a lemon, it's an orange. And a fork. Looking like he's ready to. Was that? Yeah. There's this alternative. Okay, that's all the minifigures done. Time for the Mary itself. Okay. Oh, wait, that's a little thing. So, there's. No, apart from a bit where it's. Part of the rigging. I'm not a shipwright, so. Yeah, there's thing, including the goat head. Of course, if I wrote. That's what it looks like by the front. No, the anchor's fallen off. Then, of course, there. And especially if I just. That. Goat head. Where, of course, you can put Luffy sitting right there. Of course, the Jolly Roger itself. And you can see the flags there. You can see you put a place where you can put thing. By the way, you can see there's no actual way of putting them permanently. Okay, let's show you some. Not actual. You can probably tell if I move. Oh, yeah, of course. This is play scale, so there will be a few minor. Man, this thing has so many different angles in it. Very clever what Lego has managed to do with thing. By the way, it's almost the same sort of size as the actual box itself. Yeah. Of course, there is in fact a play feature where if you can actually see it, like, it's very dark, but there's a thing, and if you press that, I'm gonna put my hand. Sorry, I'm gonna put my hand right there. So, boom. Then you got a stud. Of course, you can just pop that back in there. And this thing. Oh, look. Oh yeah. One of the little secret things is if you take that. Well, by the way, the chest does open up to reveal food and stuff. Then you get the navigational room where you can put the Nami minifigure, who is currently not. Who, to be honest, is not. Because of the way I have it. There we go. You can have Nami there, and will it close without any trouble? Yep, it can close without any trouble. So you can just have Nami just there. Of course, you do have some rum for after Zoro is finishing training or something. There is a barrel that you can recreate one scene from the anime, from the Pacific East Blue. Now it does not want to. Of course, there is in fact another move away thing, and then of course that's what it looks like. So let's move the way so I can show you that. It's literally just a little storage thing where you also put the posters. In fact, let's take a look at the posters I managed to actually get from this set. Okay, I got Goldie Rogers wanted poster. Doesn't actually tell you how many berries he's got. And we've got, of course, Monkey D. Luffy's wanted poster with a 30 million berries, but I'm Alvitas and, of course, Arlongs. Yep, and they just simply go in there. I know if you got the one of the sets, you can actually display all the wanted posters that you have. I'm not quite sure if it actually is random, or it's just they don't actually tell you which ones you get, sort of thing. I just pop thing. And then that just slides right in. Okay, I'm gonna move it that way, so of course you can see that there's something to move the actual vessel, and you got the orange trees. Of course, again, you have to watch the show to actually know, but you can just take that out. And then open it out so you can have, it's just a little bit of storage. That is just a little bit of storage. Then, if I actually take that out again, and then just carefully, there, take that out. So then you can see inside. Of course, it's got ingredients in that, so you can have your Sanji minifigure, or whatever minifigure, of course. Just, oh, that did not. Did that? Break a hole. Okay, I guess, yep. Sort it out. Thing, there is pots and pans, so you could also put, Luffy minifigure, just there. Oh, of course, will it work with these minifigures? Just, yes, it does. Yay! And of course, that just slides in like that. And I believe that is it. So, if you got the money and you adore One Piece, or you're just interested in pirate ships, this is a brilliant set for your collection. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.